In the pursuit of clout, nothing is off limits. Even if someone is dead, that doesn't exclude them from being part of an epic YouTube video. That body will be filmed and paraded around for some views online. No price is too high for YouTubers to pay if it means views on their channel. You remember Daddy05, the channel where it was a family abusing their kids for views? Well, that's not exactly uncommon, I would say. There's a lot of really bad family content on the platform. Not all of it's bad. There is some, like, genuinely wholesome families. But one thing that I've always took issue with some of these channels is it feels like they use their kids as a prop for their own narcissism and just using their kids for views. I sometimes just get the impression the parents don't even view their kids as human beings, just these little piggy banks that are like a vessel for them to make money off of. And today we took a disturbing look behind the scenes of one of these family channels where the creator accidentally uploaded an unedited version of a video that she made. It was about heartbreak in the family, and in it, she was using her son's crying as part of her thumbnail, trying to direct him while he was really having a very rough time. It's pretty fucking hard to look at, so just a fair warning there. And I have to say, it seems awful to be part of one of these families that records everything, even like the saddest moments of your life, and tries to use it for views. Like, imagine you're crying, and your mom's like, okay, keep up that energy, keep crying, I'm gonna get the iPhone real quick. Okay, now say, I'm sad, super sad, but make sure to subscribe because it'll make me happy. You know, like, that's a fucking nightmare. I'd rather be part of the Manson family than a family vlog channel. Like, it just seems horrible. Some of these families record even the saddest moments of your life because to them, that's money in the bank. And I think that shit's awful. I also think it's awful that some of you out there haven't subscribed to the Huge Charles channel. I'll make sure to put a link in the description below so you can check that out. That's some good old wholesome family fun.
Can't wait for her to bring her home and be part of our family. Put your head right here. Almost pray for us. We appreciate it. I love you guys. Bye. Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Closer down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video.
Imagine being this devoid of basic emotions, where you've completely thrown away humanity in the pursuit of your internet fame. Obviously, the kid is really crying. He even says, like, no, Mom, look, I'm actually crying. But she's like, oh, no, that's good. Yeah, no, keep pretending. Like, she can't even wrap her head around the idea that her kid might actually be emotional. And instead of turning off the camera to help her son, she's trying to use that to make a thumbnail.
Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
No, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm actually crying.
I know. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera.
Exquisite work, masterful directing here. She really captured the misery and trauma wonderfully in the thumbnail. No doubt, easy million views there. Do you think for the next one, perhaps, we can go to a funeral and line up the grieving family around the open casket, maybe stand the body up a little bit, and then they all just look really sad, maybe looking down a bit? I think she's got a great career here in Hollywood, no doubt. Very impressive work, for sure. Some people, I swear to God, would dig up the grave of their grandfather, get his corpse out, and fucking pour slime down his throat for like a slime challenge if it meant extra views on their channel. Like, there is nothing sacred. They will do anything for fucking views. Here she saw an opportunity like, oh, starts rubbing her hands together like a cartoon villain. How can I make the most amount of views off of this horrible situation? I know. Let's make sure that the audience can see my son is crying, and then I'll cry. But listen here, Junior, if we don't get more tears out of this, we're gonna fucking starve. Do you want that on your conscience? Then you'll have something to really cry about, because you'll be going hungry if this thumbnail isn't fucking sad enough. So you're gonna have to fucking cry more, now! And then look at the camera, please. Okay, now come here. Okay, good. Alright, excellent. Obviously, she was made aware of her whoops-a-daisy here, the little chess blunder, pretty quickly. I think she deleted the video within 30 minutes. She then reposted it and then just took down the video altogether and addressed it as quickly as possible with this video where she talks about how disappointed she is in herself. I'll play a short clip from that.
We're very upset. We've been crying all day. It has been extremely scary. They don't know if she's gonna make it. Honestly, completely worn out, emotional, crying the whole day. I had Christian on my shoulder and I was like, here, come here, come pose for the thumbnail with me after the video was done. And that was so disgusting of me. I should not have done that at all. We were both already so sad and upset and in such a vulnerable state today.
So the situation was their new puppy contracted parvo before they got the dog, so the dog wasn't doing super well, so the whole family was upset and she was emotional all day, and then she talks about how gross it was that she did this in the first place and left it in the video, and how disgusting the behavior was. It's not like there's anything she could have said to make the situation better or a way to justify that behavior. And she doesn't try to. I mean, like, how are you going to fucking spin that where you're like the hero? Like, no, you see, the reason I was trying to direct my kids crying for a thumbnail is actually because terrorists were holding the dog hostage and they demanded at least 1 million views on this video. So I had to do everything in my power to make it happen in order to save the dog's life. You know, like, there's nothing she could have done to justify anything in the video. All she could really say is that it was gross, it was stupid, and she's sorry. That is really all she could do in the situation. One thing that I would also like to mention is the fact that she keeps saying how emotional she was and that she was like really crying all day and just super emotional overall. I don't necessarily get that perspective from the short clip I watched, because it seems like she wasn't crying and it seems like she hadn't been crying. It looks like she hasn't cried since Jersey Shore got canceled. So I don't know if she necessarily was that bothered by it, or if like the entire day she had planned on making a video about the situation, so she went into like YouTuber mode where she wasn't allowing herself to be emotional on camera. I don't really know. But overall, there's just not a whole lot she could say or do here to make anything that much better. So she's just upfront saying everyone was right, this was gross, this was stupid, and I'm sorry. She doesn't try and like spin this in any way like, no, you guys are wrong, this didn't happen that way. She's just upfront like, yeah, this is fucking gross and disgusting. So, I mean, that's good at least that she admits that. But one thing that left a sour taste in my butthole, though, is that in the apology video, she also brings up the harassing DMs and shit that she's gotten. Now, of course, I never encourage harassment. This is also why I'm not putting her name anywhere in this video. I hate when people go out of their way to harass someone or send death threats or any fucking degenerate garbage like that. She's absolutely right to call those kind of things out. But why do it in the apology video? It kind of makes it feel like, okay, I fucked up, but you should also feel bad for me because as a result of this, I'm getting this kind of horrible stuff. So I just don't think this was the right time to talk about that. The focus of the video should have stayed on you owning up to the mistake. That it shouldn't have shifted to like, but I'm also a victim. I just don't think that was the right call there. In a comment, she also mentions that she'll no longer feature her son on her channel, because I'm assuming, the comments are turned off here, I'm assuming a lot of people had the same impression I did, where they felt that she was using her kid for views. And it's hard to really argue that when you have this footage here, where she is quite literally using her son for a more attention-grabbing thumbnail by trying to manipulate his misery for the audience. So I think that's also a good call to steer away from featuring your kids like that, especially if they might not want to. Like, it doesn't seem like the kid really wants to be in the thumbnail when he is crying, and he has to keep reiterating the point like, no, Mom, look, I'm actually crying, and then she still keeps trying to direct him. So I think her also saying that her son will no longer be used on her channel like that is a good thing. Overall, it's a fucking terrible situation, and it's hard to really take her at her word that this is like a one-time thing. Like, because now that you've seen behind the curtain here, now that you've seen how the sausage is made, as the expression goes, it's hard to really be like, oh, okay, I'll take her at her word that this has never happened before, where she's not, you know, using her kids or using horrible situations for the sake of views. The whole perspective is a bit baffling to me, where you'd have like this awful situation with the puppy and a family vlog channel's like, that's a good video. A crying video. And it's not the only channel to do that. I remember there was another channel only like a week or two ago. I'm not going to show anything from this at all, but it was a family vlog channel. They were going on this fucking multi-million-dollar vacation or some shit, but they arrived to the airport too late, so they were about to miss their flight. And the dad brings out the fucking camera and he films his children really sad, his wife really sad, and him being aggressive towards the employees that are telling them, like, look, it is literally too late. You have arrived too late to get on this flight. And he makes this whole video just being rude to them and filming his family being sad. Like, what the fuck do you... that entitlement is wild. Like, what the fuck do you want them to do? Ground the plane? Like, no, the pilot's not allowed to take off. Fuck it, this family channel has 1 million subs. We have to allow them on and give them first class. Kick everyone else off off the plane. Like, I don't know what they were expecting. They arrived too late. And B, what blows me away is that the dad would even think, like, this is a video. My family is really upset, and I'm going to be rude to these people. That is a video for the family channel, baby. Bang. Like, I just don't get it. And it's the same thing in this situation. Like, this puppy is in rough shape, and we're all very upset about it. That's a banger video. Let's all start crying on camera. I don't get it. It's astonishing. It really is. I don't really have words to describe it because I just don't understand why anyone would think that's a good idea. This situation was a really fucking gross one. Hopefully this really is the only time she's used her kid like this. Hopefully there's not anything awful going on behind the scenes like this. So yeah, that's about it. See ya. Caleb sent me this and said it was like really hard to watch. And I didn't expect it to actually be hard to watch, but it is. This is a family vlog channel that did the standard YouTuber thing where it's we broke up. But this one did it in such an uncomfortable way because it's very clear that this was a one-sided breakup. The wife broke up with the husband, and she, to his face throughout this video, just keeps saying why she was right to break up with him. I only watched about a minute and a half. Well, it was more like 2.5 minutes. And she's like, yeah, when I thought about you with other women, I just got so happy that you just wouldn't be with me anymore. Like, right to his face as he's still about to cry. So I figured we could at least watch this together and see kind of what it's all about.
Are you gonna cry?
No.
I might. I'm just kidding.
Thanks to Prime Zeppelin.
All right. And then personal things, family things, and obviously what we are telling you now.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I feel
This is another thing about family vlog channels. They share fucking everything. There are no secrets between them and me. Like I said, I watched about 2.5 minutes and I felt like I was getting broken up with. I was getting emotional. I've never even heard of this channel before. They just share the most personal shit of all time. It's wild to me that they, like, anyone would think it's a good idea.
It's just hard to know in that situation from a content point of view.
And everything's content, baby. We break up for content, goddammit.
we were going through a lot of emotions and a lot of sad, at least I was going through a lot of sad emotions, so
He just keeps saying, like, I was sad, and she is never sad about it.
I was still in the denial phase, like, no, this can't be happening.
Yeah.
Can't be happening, but sadly it is, and it happened.
This is so uncomfortable.
Awkward, and we're here. Yeah, and we're here.
Why
so,
do it?
Like it, and but I'm better now. So yeah.
It feels like she intimidated him into making this video.
So
Does it make you feel better to say it like that? Do you feel better because it's not you?
Yeah, because I tried my ass off to make it work in the end, and
But that's the
Give it all
thing,
in,
guys.
yeah.
If you're listening,
wasn't good
in
enough.
the end doesn't always
You blew it.
work anymore. And
Could they be faking it?
got
I don't
to a
know. We'll
point
see.
in my mind where I felt like, are we just best friends? Like, I feel like that's what we are. Is there more to it than that? You know,
We're watching
like,
a couple
there
break
has
up,
been more to
goddammit.
it than that. Crazy and dramatic. Nobody like cheated. Nobody like.
This is about where I stopped.
feelings were hurt though. You did some things that hurt my feelings, but I found out later on.
Can you please clarify that I wasn't cheating? Because
Yeah, you weren't cheating.
Like,
You
people
weren't
will
cheating.
dig into
You
that.
did a lot of things that bothered me. I wouldn't consider them full-blown cheating, but it was definitely
Close.
lines
Oscar,
that
I'm
we
not
shouldn't have
keeping
crossed.
that.
Alright, fine. What about that situation bothers you?
It's
Yeah.
not that situation. I just feel like.
Yeah, that sounds like cheating to me, Oscar.
Like specific things. Like, do we want to talk about when I had mental
It was only
health
oral.
issues, you were not there for me.
And
Like,
it's my
we have to,
fault.
like, dig into all of that.
I wasn't a good enough
And I
husband.
do think something like this, it's sad that it took this.
It takes two in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oscar wasn't pulling
is
his weight.
not- Like, yes, there are things he has done to hurt me or made us drift apart or like all the things, right?
Yeah.
But
It's all his
so
fault.
have I. Thinking of Oscar being happy with somebody else,
Yep, there it
and
is.
that made me happier. That's when I knew I didn't want to be with you anymore.
Why say that to his face on camera for your audience? Like, why do that? You have sat this man down and are breaking up with him again and rubbing his nose in it like a dog who took a shit on the carpet, and you're like, hey, don't do that again. You know, like making him smell it. What is the point? You could have just said it in like a 1 minute video, like, hey, look, we broke up, it was mutual, we're fucking done, alright? The channel will go on. But instead we have a 15-minute dissertation about why she was in the right to break up with Oscar. This is where I stopped. I forgot about this part. But yeah, this is where I stopped initially. So this is going to be uncharted water for me. I'm going to go in deep. I'm going to be the couple's therapy here. I'm going to analyze everything because, god damn it, it's here for me to analyze. I want to take a peek and see what's gone wrong here.
When I think of you with somebody else and that's what I want for you, I don't think you're in love with that person.
Really?
Yeah, can you handle that? You like that,
I
Oscar?
don't know. I've never heard that side, so it's a lot to take in right now. But
Yeah, luckily we're doing it on camera.
I don't like the things that you like. I don't want the same things that you want. I'm not interested in the same things that you want.
Jesus
and
Christ.
I want you to have that. So why am I like selfishly hanging on with a million other reasons? Like, guys, there's a lot. That's like the main.
I love soap
point.
operas
There's
now.
so many-
This is good.
So what triggered you to be so mean though this last month? Not that she was horrible. She was actually very nice to me during
Jesus
the actual
Christ.
breakup process. But there was a phase where like I was trying. My
Once I had decided that I didn't want to be with Oscar,
I'm about to watch a
I couldn't
fight.
Tell him that because we were going on the. Like,
I'm watching a
trip
domestic
together.
issue.
So I instead.
You were doing a lot to push me away. Not like in a.
Subconsciously, I really was like self-sabotaging.
Why would you do that?
almost,
Come
or,
on
like,
now.
Trying to get you to break up with me, so it wasn't me. I don't.
Even the cat's upset back
But,
there.
like,
It's pissing on your
I wasn't
couch.
mean because, like, as soon as I decide something, you know that. Like, I want to say it. I want to tell you. I can't just like.
This is just an argument. Yeah,
And
this is
so
they're
the
literally
second
just
I was able
arguing
to
here.
tell you.
Yes, I did explode a few times, guys, and I've worked on it. I've actually gotten way better at it over the years.
Why? They sat here and recorded this and then edited it, and they're like, yep, this is how we announce it. This is how we do it. We go out with a bang. And for what it's worth, the vlogs have continued. He is still living at the house, and they're still making vlogs together, but they are no longer together, which makes it very uncomfortable. I tried watching the most recent one. It makes it very weird with that bit of context, because you can see the kids are pretty sad about it. So, yep, I would say, as the unqualified therapist, the outsider here, the stranger you've invited into your lives, I would say you probably should take like a month, 2 months off from vlogs, would be my prescription here. And maybe like rethink how we approach the breakup announcement in the first place. Like maybe it could have just been summed up in a tweet.
Said you're prepping for our breakup video?
Yeah, this is how we do it. I'd start fucking throwing plates and then hitting
Wait,
you over the
what?
head with a frying pan like it's Looney Tunes.
I thought you actually were saying that they were throwing things at each other.
No, well they're just arguing. She brought up how angry he gets and how he throws things, but then she just keeps piling on more and more things into this lore.
Good.
So it's not really a breakup.
Owen.
This
Yeah,
is
that's not
the
the
thing about this video that I hate is it's like you did, I did,
that
like,
about
And you
right?
still chose to post it.
That's what I said.
like this is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad. I know you guys are gonna be sad. I'm sorry that we
She looks
haven't made
heartbroken.
a video about it for a minute.
I don't know.
Long story short, I do feel like we're in a really good place right now. We're still.
It
trying to
looks
do this,
healthy.
like,
We're figuring it out,
we have
yeah.
a
Yeah.
whole life.
This looks pretty
together.
healthy to
We've been
me.
together for 7 years. It takes a minute to like know.
7 years.
Extremely respectful of the breakup process. Nobody else, like I said, like she said, no one else.
I thought you said that she broke up with him.
Nothing. Currently, no one.
Yeah, she broke up with him. She said that the idea of him being with other women made her happier than being with him. So she got tired of him. She didn't like that he would get angry sometimes. So for like a year, she hasn't liked their relationship or something. But they recently just had a new baby last year. So basically, since they've had that baby, she's not like this man.
See, people, kids don't solve everything.
No, probably not. But they're good for that YouTube paycheck.
Oh, can I tell them about
All right.
the funniest conversation I had with you
What?
in Florida when we were on the phone?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess whatever.
Yeah, just share
yeah.
everything.
He went to.
I want to hear it all.
Club. Can I say that?
Yeah, I don't care.
The night before, and then we were talking about it, and I was like, "Well, did you like get a lap dance or anything?" And he's like, "No, I feel too awkward." So, anyways, long story short,
I didn't go alone, by the way. I went with a group of friends.
Right.
Anyways,
Oh, what's the story?
didn't get a lap.
I'm not gonna come
Venmo
now.
me just as much money as the stripper.
I
Stupid.
I barely threw anything, but sure.
Tell them you barely didn't and how much it was. Man, you
Okay.
sound like an idiot.
Hey, I just
That's not things you just talk about in a video.
I feel like a baller.
You didn't even get a
Yeah,
lap.
he's having fun.
Okay, anyways, revert. Go back. So then,
To be fair, it looks like it was miserable going through this
How is he
breakup with
gonna
her.
do that? And I was trying to give him advice on like how to sleep with girls, or like know when a girl wants to. And all
Jesus
that.
Oh my
Christ.
god, that is
And
so
it was-
you should
They are
see-
literally still married.
First of all, I wouldn't even
I
know
just
about
think
that.
like I don't know, guys.
Well, are they
like,
actually
just, like,
married,
need
or-
that, like,
Oh
all
yeah,
the
they
time.
are. They've been together for like 7 years now.
So they're full on divorcing. It's not just a like a breakup. Like they're just
Yeah, I think so.
Like, I mean, like, they're talking about, like, still doing their taxes together, so it made me think that they were married, but they haven't said anything about, like, divorce. They just keep saying, like, a breakup.
Yeah. Thanks.
Are they, like, working through it, but staying married for the tax benefits? Like, is that...
I have no idea. Thanks to the resub Pylon, Blunt, and the gift sub Satan. Good to see you, Satan. The Prime Jelly, resub
Or, yeah,
Ace,
like, is it
Dan,
just,
and Chronic,
like, turning into an open relationship? Like...
I have no idea.
What happens if I have a 5th kid, though?
They have 4 kids.
That's your new person's problem, not mine. Dude.
Yeah, let's go, Oscar. We don't care.
Yeah, that's where we're at. Vlog.
We're done.
He's like, all right, I'm just gonna end it here.
Like, living in the same house with 4 kids, what could go wrong? Right?
Yeah.
He looks so stressed.
Well, I guess a lot of things, but
He's very unhappy. He's not having fun.
Leave your questions down below. We'll probably do a Q&A because why not?
Yes, why not? You're already being open enough as it is.
Everybody in our lives thinks
confidence, I love it. The fact that you think after everything you put me through, I would be like,
me, but you.
This is so weird. I feel so bad right now.
Besides some
Yeah.
attitude here and there.
This is.
I don't know why they would
comforting
upload
another
this.
I don't know.
oh, there it is.
This is 2 people that fucking hate each other, pretending they don't.
comforting to Oscar.
Yeah.
Shut the But guys, that was early on.
That was
Wow.
rough.
Yeah, no, that got worse and worse and worse. It was just a full-blown domestic dispute that they filmed. This is what I mean. Like, people literally live through YouTubers and their lives.
Well, here, Oscar's glow up after this is about to be iconic. At least people are on his side on it. More of like a, this is...
Yeah, most people are... Well, it was pretty clear that she fucking hates Oscar.
Yeah.
He was definitely the one that was hurting the most here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she looked...
Literally, yeah, she's so happy.
She
and
looked fucking thrilled.
And he's just, like, out of it the whole time, like...
Yeah.
He wasn't there.
Exit Tier 1 Wolf.
He looked
Momo.
miserable. Like, he didn't want to be doing that whole thing. I mean, I didn't see the beginning, but I'm sure he looked the same way.
Yeah. They didn't do a Q&A yet. I already looked earlier. Oh my god, never mind, they did. How did I miss this? I saw this one. This one was very uncomfortable. But I didn't see this. Oh my god,
It's 22 minutes.
there's still so much more to learn. I don't know.
You sound excited to be
Not
watching
really.
another.
I don't know. That was very uncomfortable. I just feel kind of dirty and slimy just for knowing that much about that couple for no reason. I don't really care about that. It was just, he clearly doesn't want to.
Okay,
And she's telling him how to get
now I have
girls,
be
I
making
mean...
this video so soon. I actually filmed.
Oh, and one of their kids is watching this.
That first,
Oh.
because there's so many questions that we're like, all right, we need to address something.
Oh.
I think the next time that we film a video in the kitchen, it needs to be a positive video.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So I kind of thought that we would
Time to
start
watch
with, like,
Mom and Dad
a
fight on
list
camera
of,
again.
Like things that I wanted to.
Oh, yeah,
you
I
said
stopped by.
nothing
And she
the
was
whole
mad.
time. Yeah, and I had to say anything because these are awkward conversations to have. You don't really know what
You
to
don't
say.
have to have these
You don't wanna say the wrong
conversations
thing,
on camera.
especially
You
on
really
the internet with
don't.
all the backlash. So
Yeah,
and like it's
no.
funny. We have like banter.
Yeah.
We're in a good place.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
No.
Yes. Yeah.
No. Are we in a good place?
Yes.
Tell them.
I'm laughing because the nipple thing was out of habit and I didn't squeeze. I just was like, oh wait.
Yeah, he didn't. And he said, yeah. But like, we all have-
Thank God,
and we
Oscar.
have- this
Your
is
honor
like
is still
announcement
intact.
to you guys.
That kind of tends to happen.
People also don't.
I mean, that's the
when
whole
touch
point.
you.
Oh really? Why?
mixed signal.
Oh yeah. No, guys, it is done. Like.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I mean, it is, but relax.
Yeah. Well,
I hope Oscar's side hoe walks
what was
in
I
to
gonna
like
say?
help
This is
answer
why I
questions.
interrupt,
I just want to know he's doing okay.
It was important. So like, that's when I started to just feel defeated. But that's
Just
not
tell
what
me
I,
why you hate
like,
him.
Decided. Oh,
That's all I care about.
And I stayed with him
Stop
for a year.
cushioning
But
the
if
blow,
You
he
guys
can
know
take
me
it.
At all. Never asked Oscar to get a vasectomy. I did not want him to get a vasectomy. I wanted more kids, and
I see why he did it now.
encouraged he didn't get the vasectomy. Oscar had to have a vasectomy. He was going to do that.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, good idea, Oscar. Made the right call.
Has nothing to do with me.
yeah, that has no.
I don't want to get.
Is that what made you hate him? 'Cause his wiener is
It had
snipped?
It had nothing to do with having.
I feel like I'm getting
in
to the
future.
bottom
It
of
was
this.
more so just
I mean,
like,
his wiener's
I'm
not
weird
snipped.
about bodies.
No, his
The only
wiener's
reason why I asked
cut in
is
half
because we were
now.
already-
That's what a vasectomy
it was
is.
already
They
gonna be
split it in
during
half like a
C-section. I didn't want
meat
you to
stick.
find a way to get-
A little while ago, we've had a lot of people say like, are you guys going to get back together in the future?
No.
Or, like,
Oscar's
how
done.
Official is this?
It's official.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oscar
you
seems so
never know
strong
what the
now.
Future brings like I don't want to say Like, I think it'd be
No, Oscar, put your fucking foot down. Say no.
He did.
I'm done.
This is where things
He
get
did,
risky.
and then
I
she
do
talked
not
over
want
him.
to ever lead, then so be it.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I don't want to speak for my future self, but as of right now, it's like an official no. I don't.
Nice. That's all I needed to hear. Good work, Oscar.
You're done.
Yeah, I don't want to watch 22 fucking minutes of it. It's still so uncomfortable.
It really is.
I don't know why people post these things. That's just so much.
Well.
He got his balls snipped and she still has them in her purse.
She's probably like, here, freeze some for me.
Rough, yeah. About 5 months ago, I covered the story of the 8 Passengers YouTube channel and all of the evils that were going on behind the scenes. 8 Passengers was a YouTube channel that had over 2 million subscribers. It was a popular family channel that showcased a strict style of parenting. That's what it became known for. But the word strict doesn't really cover it. That's a huge understatement. It was really alarming to a lot of viewers because they were treating their family like they were in the Marine Corps. Like, they ruled their family with an iron fist. And it eventually came out that the children in these videos were being abused. And 5 months ago, the story broke. One of the children freed themselves, escaped the house, went over to the neighbors, who then contacted the authorities, and after an investigation, found some horrific shit was going on with this family. Mainly, the mother, Ruby Frank, abusing her children. Ruby Frank also had an accomplice named Jody Hildebrandt, and together the two of them put these children through unspeakable evils. And today, I have an update to share with all of you because they have been sentenced. Ruby Frank was apparently sobbing at the sentencing and blamed the child abuse on being deceived into thinking the world was evil. I don't understand that thought process at all. She was deceived into thinking the world was an evil place, thus she had to be evil herself. You're the evil, Ruby. You are the one who knocks. The fuck you talking about? She had the gall to try and paint herself as a victim almost, making claims that she was manipulated and like morally confused and it ended up with her turning into this child abuser. It's ridiculous. But luckily the crocodile tears from this brain-dead strategy here didn't do much to help her. She was sentenced to 4 to 60 years in prison. She pled guilty along with her associate to abusing 2 of Frank's children. However, neither woman will serve more than 30 years in prison because of a Utah law that prohibits consecutive sentences exceeding that. Moments before a Utah District Court judge sentenced Frank to consecutively serve 1 to 15 years behind bars for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse, Frank tearfully told the court she never meant to harm the children. Which makes absolutely no sense. She obviously knew what she was doing was harming the children because she would deprive them of food, water, a place to sleep, and the children were even beaten, among other horrible things. All things that can't necessarily be confused with just building character or something like that. Can't possibly be just written off as strict parenting. This isn't one of those situations where you'll see people come out of the woodwork to defend it. They were just spanking their kids. It helps discipline them. Put some hair on their chest. I remember when Peepaw took me out back and made me gargle a glass of motor oil and nails in order to turn into a man, and look how I turned out. It's nothing like that. She would beat her kids and left them in states of malnourishment. It's so heinous what Ruby and Jody inflicted upon these children. And that Utah law that prohibits them from serving that full, potentially 60-year sentence really sucks here because they deserve life in jail for what they've done here. The reason why there's a huge range of 4 to 60 years is because there's still one more step where another board is going to ultimately decide how much time they should spend there. And if the board members are watching, it better be the maximum. Anything shy of the maximum is an affront to justice. Heavens to Betsy, I tell you, if they end up only serving 4 years for these actions, I'm gonna have a conniption. You would be enabling monsters to get away with it. And that is an unforgivable sin on your part. You would be condemning yourself to hell for that. You'd be dining down there with Lucifer in the afterlife if you let them get away with this and only get 4 years of prison time. So the Business Insider article dives a bit more into Frank's behavior during this. So she was saying that she was deceived and had a distorted version of reality that went largely unchecked. She then just starts blabbering to try and prove that she had a distorted view of reality, saying, "I was led to believe that this world was an evil place filled with cops who control, hospitals that injure, government agencies that brainwash, church leaders who lie and lust, husbands who refuse to protect, and children who need abuse. Let me pause real quick. Ruby, if this was your view of the world, why wouldn't you want to rise above that and be the exact opposite of that perspective? So you're viewing the world through your stupid glasses, whatever. You got your fucking moron dunce hat on, whatever. Why wouldn't you want to be the exception? Why wouldn't you want to be the one that's loving and nurturing their children? Why wouldn't you want to be the one that's not evil in this evil world you believe you live in? That doesn't make any sense. You are just yapping about fucking nothing. This is a nothing burger of a statement. It is once again just her trying to paint herself as almost some kind of victim of deceit. Now, I don't know if this next part is her just putting on a facade, faking self-awareness, or if she really does finally understand that she is the big bad here, and that it is all her fault, but she says that it was her choice to believe and behave this paranoia. It culminated in a criminal activity, and she stands ready to take accountability, and then says at the end, I can see now over the past 4 years I was in a deep undercurrent that led us to danger. I would never have led you to darkness knowingly. I was so disoriented that I believed dark was light and right was wrong. I would do anything in this world for you. To me, this feels like hollow words, because the only thing she ever did in the world for her children was keep them in a state of malnourishment, fear, and misery. I really get the impression that Ruby is a manipulator. I think what she's trying to do here is put on this act of remorse. I really get the impression, through learning what I have about this case now, that Ruby would do anything to keep herself out of trouble. But I think deep down she isn't really remorseful of her actions. I don't think she existed in this year-long disoriented state that led her to abusing her kids for this long period of time. She was so proud of the way that she handled her family, she would post about it frequently on YouTube and defend it as like a strict parenting style. So I really think she's not remorseful and just desperately trying to save her own ass. Also, the next thing she said about her willingness to sacrifice all for her children being masterfully manipulated into something very ugly, once again reads to me as her trying to pass the blame. Now, throughout a lot of this, it seems that Ruby is trying very hard to play like the deceived victim here, and Jody kind of being like the puppet master behind it. Jody was the one that was really kind of isolating Frank, keeping her away from her husband and all of these other things, and making sure that her morality was constantly confused. So it really just seems like Frank's strategy was to push a lot of that onto Jody, where she was the Frankenstein who made Ruby into a monster. Allegedly, Ruby had been made to believe that Hildebrandt had insight to offer a path to continual improvement, and eventually it twisted into something heinous, which resulted in all of the abuse. Frank's lawyer even outright said that she was manipulated by Hildebrandt, saying that Hildebrandt systematically isolated her from extended family, older children, and her husband, and gave her a distorted sense of morality. Even though, like I said, Ruby Frank is a child abuser who I also believe to be a manipulator as well. So Jody also is evil, let's not forget. So speaking of Jody, she received the same prison sentence as Ruby. Jody will be facing 4 to 60 years in prison as well. Again, that's up to the board to decide exactly how long, and I'm hoping they make the right decision and give her and Ruby the maximum amount of time in prison. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the 8 passengers abuse case, there's going to be a quick summary that I'll go through here. So in August, one of the children, the 12-year-old son, climbed through a window from Hildebrandt's house to get help for himself and his 10-year-old sister, which prompted a neighbor to call the police. And at the time, the police described the child as emaciated and injured with duct tape around his ankles and wrists. The prosecutor said Miss Frank and her business partner held 2 children ages 9 and 11 turning 12 in a concentration camp-like setting. The children were regularly denied food, water, beds to sleep in, and virtually all forms of entertainment. The children were beaten, bound, forced to do manual labor in the sweltering heat, and emotionally abused. Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse that required hospitalization when they were found, and the injuries from the bindings to the 12-year-old were particularly awful. There's more information about some of the abuse that she would inflict upon her children. She kicked her son, held his head underwater, covering his nose and mouth so he couldn't breathe. All kinds of horrible things that I don't think I need to keep going into detail on. You get the idea. Ruby and Jody are monsters. Plain and simple. Now I want to briefly discuss the husband, Kevin. So, as you've just learned, Jody had urged them to separate. She kept Ruby isolated from him. In order to save their marriage, Jody suggested that they separate, so Kevin eventually moved out and stopped communicating with his family at Jody's direction. Now, social workers and police were called to the family home multiple times in recent years, but there are no formal accusations. Kevin has made statements through his lawyer, Randy Kester, and has stated, "The treatment these children received at the hands of those whom the children had a right to trust was horrific and inhumane both physically and psychologically. Kevin remains focused on the rehabilitation of these sweet and vulnerable children so that they might return to a normal life as soon as possible." So it sounds like he had no idea what was happening there due to being separated from the family like that. When I initially covered this story, I didn't know that he was away from the rest of the family and completely ceased communication altogether, so I guess that would explain how he'd be in the dark. But if I'm being honest, I'm extremely surprised that he wouldn't see his children a single time throughout this long period of abuse. Like, if he saw them one time, he would immediately know what's going on, because the neighbor, the authorities, they were able to immediately see something was wrong. They were in a malnourished, emaciated state. There was, the bruises, like so much that you would immediately see and you can't be oblivious to. It'd be impossible to be oblivious to. You can't ignore it. You would know. I'm not trying to accuse him of anything here. I'm just saying it is a little weird that he wouldn't see these children throughout this long period of the abuse they endured. I understand Jody told them to separate and to stop talking, but I can't imagine someone just willingly doing that without checking in occasionally. Especially because they're still together. Those are still his children too. You know what I mean? But anyway, I am happy to see that Ruby and Jody will be facing prison time for this. Hopefully a lot of prison time for this, because it is heinous. What they've done is unforgivable. And I think even 30 years, if they get the maximum sentence, is a light sentence for this shit. This is awful stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an update to this story. That's really about it. So yeah. The word influencer is without a doubt one of the worst terms we've ever widely adopted. It is just such a yucky term, but there's a way of making it even worse if you put the word mom in front of it. Mom influencer, upon just hearing that, induces nausea. It's like a real brown note. For those that don't know, the brown note is a legendary myth in music. It's basically a forbidden jutsu, but for sound. Fundamentally, it boils down to a frequency that, when exposed to a person, causes them to void their bowels, causes fecal incontinence. So you shit your pants when you hear the brown note and you have no control over it. The term mom influencer does something similar, but instead of just pooping your britches, you get sick. I think there's nothing wrong with mothers making internet content on, parenthood or educational content on what it's like to be a mom. That's all great. That's wholesome. But then there's a step too far into lunacy where you cross into the dark side of the force here. And that's mom influencers that use their children like props for them in their videos for their own online fame and clout. I feel like those kind of parents don't care about their children at all. They're just living vicariously through them in order to fulfill something in their life that they were unable to do on their own. So now they use their children for that online, brownie point shit and attention. And that's what we're talking about today, with one mom influencer in particular. Her name's Katie, and a couple years ago she made a viral video about how her children were nearly kidnapped outside of a Michael's. And boy howdy, would you believe it, it turns out it was a load of baloney. She made it all up for internet clout. But this also came at the expense of two actual people here that she accused of being the ones to try and kidnap her kids, and she did report it to the police. So not only did she fabricate the story, she nearly had two innocent people fucked for life for this. So it is downright evil and degenerate. And now, it's a few years later, she has been convicted for lying about this. Her sentencing is upcoming, but it's very nice to see justice finally being served. It's a little upsetting it's taken so long, but you know what? We're here. Now let's get you caught up on the story because it's a wild one.
This morning, a popular social media influencer who falsely accused a couple of trying to kidnap her children, now convicted of lying about the whole ordeal.
Monday of this week, my children were the targets of attempted kidnap.
This is the face of a fib. She's not being truthful. She now owes a quarter into the lie jar, and that jar's gonna be filled to the brim after this case, because she's a fucking liar. So, Katie went on Instagram, made this story accusing two random people in a Michael's store she was at of trying to kidnap her kids outside of Michael's.
And I want to share that story with you in an effort to raise awareness as to what signs to look for.
The whole idea behind all of this is so silly. Hey guys, my kids were almost kidnapped. Now let me tell you what I learned about this experience. Make sure to slap that like button for more kidnapping avoidance tutorials, and stay tuned next week where I throw my kids into a coal mine and we see what happens to their lungs so I can give you educational content on how to avoid children in coal mines. Like, what do you mean signs to look out for in the case here of the kidnapping outside of Michael's? What? Giant trench coat? If there's a couple with a huge trench coat and they're stuffing kids inside of there, big red flag. And watch out for the stork coming through and grabbing your kids with their big fucking talons. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, of course, there could be real advice you could give to somebody on, like, signs to look out for creepy people that might be up to no good. Like, hey, maybe if these people are stalking you throughout Michael's and following you to your car, you know, then maybe you should alert people around you, that kind of thing. Or just making people aware, like, there's nothing wrong with involving outsiders if you feel like you're in a situation that could be potentially dangerous. That's all fine advice. But it's not the advice she's aiming to give here. She even says that, you know, parents are too preoccupied with making sure their kids are masked up that they no longer look at them, so it just leaves an opportunity for a stranger to come in and fucking steal the stroller out from under their nose or something. Like, at least alludes to that. Keep in mind, this was a few years ago during the height of the pandemic, so masks were a huge talking point. So she makes, like, the point she's making about, like, signs to look out for are basically just, like, open your eyes. She's basically just telling people to be a parent. It's ridiculous. It's the story she tells here offers no good insight on things to be aware of unless you're an absolute fucking oblivious idiot to everything around you. Like, these are all things people would absolutely notice and be uncomfortable with the same way she is in the video. Of course, it's all made up at the end of the day, but still, like, the whole purpose behind it and the message she tried to get across makes no sense. It's so laughable. Found the full video. It's like 15 minutes long. And it is one of the most descriptive things I've ever listened to for a completely make-believe story. She talks about this story like she's in a creative writing course and giving a presentation in front of the class for a piece of fiction that she wrote. It's outrageous the amount of detail she goes into, like when she's getting to the climax of everything where the stroller was almost snatched and her children abducted. She's talking about, like, they took 2 steps forward, but then 3 steps back. They did the hokey pokey and they turned themselves around. You know, I saw the fear wash over me. I could feel it. My pupils were dilating as this absolute menace, this villain, was approaching me with ill intent and malicious aura surrounding them, like a bat out of hell. It's outrageous. It is all completely fucking fanfic make-believe.
Falsely claiming that strangers tried to kidnap her 2 young children on December 7th, 2020, outside the Petaluma, California Michael's store. The Sonoma County DA's office says the videos were posted about a week after Sorensen reported the supposed kidnapping attempt to police.
So what's wild is she didn't just make this story up for the sake of Instagram views and likes. She did report this incident to the police, who pretty quickly were able to dismiss it as a bunch of fucking hoo-ha. They immediately really realized that the events she was describing on Instagram were completely different than the events that she had described to the authorities. It was wildly different. And after talking to the couple in the clip you saw there, that photo of the couple, after talking with them, they realized that there's no evidence at all. There's no witnesses. There's nothing to corroborate anything that Katie was ever saying. Which is weird because in Katie's story on Instagram, she even talks about, like, some fucking vigilante, a hero that was there to come and help her out and save the day, really. So it's weird that there wouldn't be any witnesses to confirm any of this happened. So all of it is just so scummy and baffling that she would do something like this for the sake of internet clout. Because she didn't just go home and make this video. She did report this to the police. Why? Why go that step forward? I guess in case people would call her out on it, she'd be able to pull up a police report or something, but she should have known that they would have gotten to the bottom of this and realized that it was all a lie. And reporting a false crime is a crime. You can't do that. You can't just knowingly make some shit up and then report it to authorities and then potentially ruin the lives of the people that you are falsely accusing. That's just downright evil.
In the video, Sorensen described a number of details about the alleged incident that hadn't been disclosed to police. The accused couple, Sadie and Eddie Martinez, say they actually recognized themselves in this photo and came forward to deny Sorensen's claims.
She wanted a stronger following. She was looking for, content for her fame and her income, and at our expense.
I think they're absolutely correct. I think the main motivator behind all of this was just that internet attention. A little fucking clout goblin was born on this day, and it did work for however brief a time. Katie did receive a lot of love, got a lot of new followers on Instagram, had a huge outpouring of just well wishes from the community for such a traumatic experience, and her bravery for sharing it and all of that. And she did build a big following from all of this at their expense, but her house of cards has now come crumbling down clearly, and there were already signs that this was very fishy even a few years ago, where authorities were like, this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo, this isn't real, there's something goofy afoot here. So this has been a long time in the oven here cooking, and now we've reached the point where she doesn't have that following anymore. She lost some of her most avid supporters, clearly, because you can't really support someone that does something like this. So now the only thing she has is potentially 6 months in the slammer for this.
Sorensen's attorney maintains his client did not lie to police.
She misperceived and misunderstood a series of random events which were occurring around her, and made a honest report to the police on December 7th.
That man looks fearful for his life right there. I don't know what's going on, if he's some kind of like prototype android that's having a hard time expressing emotion, or if Katie's threatening him with some kind of wild accusations and he's feeling the pressure. That man was robotic. But basically the defense is, Katie was too fucking stupid to understand what was happening, so she ended up just making a report that is completely not grounded in reality at all. And we're very sorry that she's so dumb. So they're just playing the she's an absolute idiot card, which I guess is becoming a very popular defense. There's a difference between being stupid and being dangerously stupid. If you're the kind of person that's so fucking dumb that you start making false reports and accusing innocent people of heinous crimes, that's still not excusable. You can't just write it off as, they're just a quirky weirdo that's dumb. You can't do that. They still need to face punishment for that. So even if the guy here is correct in that she just misperceived everything, she still needs to be punished for falsely accusing this couple of things that just didn't happen.
Her attorney adding that it was when Sorensen reviewed the evidence that she realized she was wrong.
I don't think she had any understanding of how this would spread and the impact it would cause.
But some legal experts say this verdict is about accountability.
This is a woman who lied for clicks at the expense of a couple in California who wrongly accused them of a very serious crime.
I agree. Katie does need to be held accountable for what she's done here. I personally think this wasn't just some like, oops-a-daisy, I'm so dumb moment, I misunderstood everything that happened and made up an entire story around it, silly me. I really think this was a calculated content play where she knew a video like this would garner a lot of support. Because, obviously, who doesn't want to rally behind a mother who went through a traumatic experience but came out okay and is using that as an opportunity to try and educate people in her community to be better prepared for scary things like that in the future. She probably knew that this video would go insano style on views and engagement, so she went for it. And man, what a terrible idea it was. I don't buy the whole narrative that she's just a bumbling fucking idiot who just misunderstood everything. I think that's a load of hogwash. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this story because it's a weird one. That's about it. So yeah. Today we're going to be talking about a pure evil YouTuber that was just arrested for some truly heinous stuff. This is not a goofy topic at all. This is going to take that smile off of your face faster than if you had watched a James Corden clip. This is the story about Ruby Frank of the very popular parental advice / parenting blogger / family YouTube channel 8 Passengers, which is already a really creepy name, by the way. 8 Passengers does sound like some kind of cult. 8 Passengers sounds like the title to a horror movie. And unfortunately, that's not far off, because the woman behind this YouTube channel, Ruby Frank, is basically a monster out of a horror film. Ruby Frank and her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt, were arrested this week, and they're being charged with 6 counts of child abuse. Now, Ruby wasn't alone with the 8 Passengers YouTube channel. her husband Kevin was also prominently featured in there as well. But for some reason, he's not mentioned in any of this right now, aside from a couple of mentions that he's just trying to keep the family together and help the children through this difficult time with Ruby being arrested. But I can't imagine a world where Kevin was somehow oblivious to all of the abuse the children suffered in that household. There's no way Kevin didn't know what was happening. Unless he's an absolute fucking lobotomite zombie, there's no way he didn't know what the children are being subjected to. I just can't imagine a single multiverse possibility that Kevin is squeaky clean in this situation, just totally innocent, had no idea what was happening to the kids in that house. Especially considering in 2020, Kevin was front and center fighting on the front lines to defend himself and his wife against abuse allegations, defending their parental style. I'll go into a bit more detail on that situation a bit towards the end of the video, but basically, some viewers were really concerned for the safety of the children based on what was being presented in some of the 8 Passengers videos, as well as what was being discussed, such as taking away one of the kids' food privileges, as well as one of the kids' bedroom privileges, and eventually they tried to get CPS involved, and CPS did get loosely involved, but the whole time Kevin was defending the actions that they had been taking with their parenting. So like, I don't believe that he didn't know about all of the abuse that was being suffered in that household by the children. But since right now it's only Ruby and Jody who have been arrested, I'll focus on them. They go over some of the stories and videos that she would proudly post on her channel, where she just openly admits, proudly, almost bragging, about torturing her children. She built a reputation as being a strict parent with a strict parental style, but strict is not the right word for it. This isn't like some kind of teacher that's like, hey class, settle down, no fishy business, we got work to do here. And this isn't even strict like, you know, your fucking basic training drill sergeant or anything. This, the way she treats her children is like the way prisoners are treated at Guantanamo Bay. She fucking posted a video where she was laughing about not feeding her daughter any food because she was punishing her. And she even said that she hopes nobody gives her daughter any food because if she did, then the lesson wouldn't be learned. She was starving her daughter as a means of punishment. And it only gets worse. I learned about this on stream, so I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the clips and go over some of the stories that were shared. I think it's important to mention that this was not some small obscure channel. The content they were posting wasn't just being banished to the Shadow Realm immediately with no eyes ever being on it, no one ever seeing it. This was a huge channel. 8 Passengers had 2.5 million subscribers. I know it's become somewhat of a trend in journalism to try and like clickbait headlines with things like famous TikToker arrested for DUI and jiggling butt cheeks to Doja Cat Say So on the side of the road. And you read that and it's very eye-catching because it's like, famous TikToker, oh shit, well who was it? And then you'll read the person's name in the article about the crime and then you'll check their TikTok page and it turns out they have 50 followers and all they do is speculate on anime power levels, and it's like, well, not exactly a famous TikToker, but it's 2023, so everyone has some kind of social media presence and journalists will oftentimes just connect it to that. So famous TikToker does this or famous Twitter shitposter does that, even though they're not exactly a famous TikToker or this and that. But in this case, it really is a famous YouTuber, a very large YouTube channel that gave tons of parental advice for a very long time, had a very successful family vlog, and then even went on with Jody Hildebrandt to start doing life coaching and general life advice. All the while, she'd been abusing her children the entire fucking time. I don't know, there's something about that picture that's super eerie. It reminds me of something out of like Midsummer. A Utah mother known for chronicling her strict parenting style was arrested after one of her children ran to a neighbor's house seeking help. Her channel name was 8 Passengers. They had 2.2 million subscribers. Ms. Frank hosted the now-defunct YouTube channel 8 Passengers, where she posted videos about her parenting approach with her 6 children, including refusing them food as a form of punishment. Wait, and she did this on YouTube?
My kids are literally starving. I hesitate to say this because it's going to sound like I'm like a mean barbarian, but I told the kids, I said, I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast until you get your chores done.
The red flags were all there. She was hiding in plain sight. That's actual torture. You can't do that. Miss Frank and Miss Hildebrandt were each charged on Friday with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse, according to the Washington County Attorney's Office. Each count carries a maximum sentence of 15 years in prison and a fine up to $10,000. According to the affidavit, Miss Frank's 12-year-old son, identified as RF, climbed out of a window of Miss Hildebrandt's home and went to a neighbor's house on Wednesday morning asking for food and water. The child had duct tape on his ankles and wrists as well as open wounds. He appeared to be emaciated and malnourished. This is some pure evil shit. The neighbor called the police, who then found Miss Frank's 10-year-old daughter Eve at Miss Hildebrandt's. She also appeared to be malnourished, the affidavit said. Both children were taken to the hospital. The boy was placed on a medical hold due to his deep lacerations from being tied up with rope and from his malnourishment, according to the affidavit. Oh my god. At one point, Miss Frank had 2.5 million subscribers to her channel, following the lives of her 6 children. In 2020, Chad Frank, then 15, told YouTube viewers in one family video that he had been sleeping on a beanbag for months and that he had lost his bedroom after playing a prank on his little brother. How did she get away with it for so long? If this was literally in their YouTube video. She, on camera in her TikTok or whatever, said that she denies her children food as a form of punishment, and then apparently one of the kids also revealed that he had lost bedroom privileges for months after playing a prank. How? How did this persist? This should have went straight to prison. Do not pass go. In one video recorded by Miss Frank and reposted to TikTok, she said her daughter Eve's teacher had called her to say Eve had come to school without lunch. Miss Frank said the teacher was uncomfortable with her being hungry, but that Eve was responsible for making her own lunch, and that the natural outcome is she is just going to be hungry. Hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch, because then she's not going to learn from it. And this is all on video. She said this on video. How was CPS not alerted sooner? Oh, and apparently there was even a bunch of petitions from the community to try and get them taken down because it was actual evidence of child abuse. But it looks like none of that was taken seriously. We've been trying to tell the police and CPS for years about this, and so glad they finally decided to step up. Kids are safe, but there's a long road ahead. Oh, this was one of the children. Sherry Frank, now a junior at BYU, posted about her mother's arrest on Instagram saying justice is being served. So one of the kids was trying to alert CPS and the police and they didn't do anything? How would you not trust one of the victims of it? Especially when there's so much documented evidence on their own fucking YouTube channel. Now, I mentioned on stream how surprising it was that this hadn't happened sooner when she openly posted content about some of the abuse she was inflicting upon her children. And it turns out a lot of the community that was aware of this channel was actively trying to get CPS involved, especially when it came to that beanbag incident where one of the children made it clear that they had been sleeping on a beanbag for an extended period of time because they had lost their bedroom due to that prank that they had played on one of the siblings. So CPS did get loosely involved at some point, but Ruby was somehow able to brush them off and nothing came from it somehow, which blows my mind because this isn't one of those situations with hindsight being 2020. This isn't one of those things where you can just say, man, if we only knew then what we know now, we could have really helped them. Because this is so clear cut. This should have been a no-brainer that something was wrong. For an authority figure to look at any of these videos, it should have been a massive, alarming situation. Fucking sirens should have been blaring. The second that Ruby was proudly gloating, wiggling her finger, celebrating her incredible parenting of just depriving her children of food as a punishment, that should have been enough to get authorities involved and learn about what was actually happening here with the Ruby Frank household. It's super infuriating that this went on for as long as it did, when a lot of people did keep trying to push this forward to CPS to get them to take action, knowing that something was wrong and knowing what Ruby was posting about and saying was not okay. It's not strict parenting, it's actual abuse. By every possible definition. This is not something where it's it builds character, toughen up, sport, rub some dirt in it. You know, you're not getting breakfast. In fact, you're also not getting your bedroom. It's going to put some hair on your chest. You're going to learn something today. You know, it's not anything like that. It's fucking abuse. This isn't parenting. I can't believe that it went on for so long. I'm happy now finally something is being done, but I feel fucking horrible for the kids in this situation that they'd been let down not only by the person that's supposed to care for them more than anyone else in the world, their mother, but they were also let down by the authorities that are supposed to be trying to help them in an emergency situation. It shouldn't have taken this long. Ruby's sisters also have hundreds of thousands of followers, so they posted an Instagram statement that said, "For the last 3 years, we have kept quiet on the subject of our sister, Ruby Frank, for the sake of her children. Behind the public scene, we have done everything we could to try and make sure the kids were safe. We wouldn't feel right about moving forward with regular content without addressing the most recent events. Once we do, we will not be commenting on it further. Ruby was arrested, which needed to happen. Jody was arrested, which needed to happen. The kids are now safe, which is the #1 priority." I've just got to say that statement of "we kept quiet for the last 3 years for the sake of the children" doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because keeping quiet wasn't helping the children. They were being abused, and if you were aware of that, how the fuck would being quiet somehow help them? How is that doing everything you can behind the scenes to keep them safe? That's doing nothing. That is literally the Simpsons meme of "we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas." Now, I guess it's possible they didn't know the extent of the abuse that the children were suffering, but even still, if you were aware of children being abused in any capacity, you should have been doing everything in your power to get the kids out of that situation. Being quiet doesn't get them out of the situation. That doesn't do anything to actually save them or keep them safe. You should have made a lot of noise and kept going to authorities over and over again, gathering as much evidence as possible to try and help those kids. And maybe they were. Like, this is, again, just a very short statement, so maybe they were, but them saying that they kept quiet for 3 years to keep them safe, it doesn't compute. Because that's not keeping the kids safe, that's keeping them locked in that prison with the monster. Now, as was mentioned by one of the daughters, there was a lot of attempts to get police and CPS involved that just didn't work. So it is possible that perhaps the sisters here were actively trying to do that and kept trying to get authorities involved unsuccessfully. It's just that saying you kept quiet for 3 years it really isn't clicking with me. I don't know why you would be quiet for 3 years if you were actively working to keep the kids safe. Let's imagine that one of the kids wasn't lucky enough to break free and escape through a window and get help from someone nearby. They'd still be tied up right now in that house, and you would still be being quiet. This fucking ridiculous silence is golden strategy didn't help the kids. The only person it helped was your sister, because it allowed her to keep abusing those children for 3 more years. And the only reason this even came crumbling down and she finally got arrested is because one of them broke free, covered in deep lacerations, and was able to get help so they could all be saved. Had that not happened, you would still be quiet and those kids would still be suffering. I know I'm getting pretty heated here, but this story is just infuriatingly evil. I am happy that Ruby and Jody have been arrested. I hope they get the absolute maximum sentence here. But I do still think there's other people that knew what was happening in that household that should also face very severe punishment for allowing that to happen and continue happening for as long as it did. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. That's about it. See ya. Alright, I went down the dark and depressing rabbit hole of weird family vlog YouTube channels. Not that that's its own category, because every family vlog channel on YouTube I think is weird. And I just want to talk about it today. It's been bothering me for the last couple days, and I'm just going to pop the zit here for a little relief, just to talk about it. I think family vlog channels is super creepy. I think it really hurts your whole family, especially because all of these family vlog channels focus on their kids mainly. So I genuinely can't wrap my head around growing up with a camera in my face every single day throughout my entire developing years. It has to be horrible. It just feels so fake, so forced, and it feels like there's nothing private in these kids' lives anymore. It's just completely open for strangers to watch them grow up. And it's even like these strangers are helping to raise your kids. It's like this awful parasocial relationship with creepy people on YouTube in the comments watching and judging your parenting and your kids. It's fucking terrifying. Like, I remember one time when I was 8 years old, I got naked and put my wiener on a pile of dirty laundry and then pissed all over it. If I did that today, well, not today as like a 27-year-old man, I'd just go to jail. But if I did that today, like if I was 8 years old and I did that, that'd probably be like a fucking million view family vlog video right there. That'd just be like the thumbnail, like, my son did what to our laundry? Like, everything for these families gets filmed and posted on YouTube because it makes them money and somehow has an audience. I think it's just super fucking creepy. These parents are just using their kids as props in their videos in order to make money off of it. It feels like fucking child labor to a certain extent. They're like the main draw, they're the main actors, and yet they don't benefit from it at all. They don't see a dime of that shit. Like, yeah, maybe they'll get some cool toys or whatever, but it's not like they are actually able to consent to being like the main character in your horrible YouTube production. They're just kids. Like, take for example Ryan Toy Reviews. That kid is worth over $30 million. One of the most popular and most profitable channels on all of YouTube. That kid has not seen a dime of that, I bet. It all goes to his parents, who are absolutely living it up with that money. Ryan's been like 6 years old for the last 10 years. He's like fucking Ash Ketchum. The kid has to be approaching like 14 by this point, but he is still doing the same thing, and his parents are still the main beneficiary from his work. Now, of course, I'm sure there's some level of fun where he just gets to play with toys. It makes his parents happy. He gets more toys, and it's just this cycle. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's not the most evil situation in the world, but it's still extremely weird. All of these family vlog channels strike me as just a bunch of narcissists who found a way to make money using their kids and using the least amount of effort possible just by shoving a camera in their family's face at all hours of the day. Like, there's a popular meme that went around last year where it was this picture here. Zam, she's only 12, so spicy. This comes from a family vlog channel with over 8.7 million subs. Now, the girl in their thumbnail wasn't actually 12, but I still censored it just in case. You can see that some of these families with these channels are fucking weird. Clickbaiting child porn for your audience is not okay. Like, who the fuck does the Prince family think is watching them? Jared Fogle? Like, are they trying to appeal to, like, pedophiles or something? Like, what the fuck was the point in taking a woman in her bra and panties, calling her 12, and then saying she's spicy on your thumbnail? It's fucking weird. Now, I want to make it clear, I don't think every family with a vlog channel is a dysfunctional group of goofballs that, you know, hurt their kids or make their kids' lives miserable. I'm not saying that. I'm sure there are some genuinely wholesome families out there where the whole family just enjoys getting together, like, once a week, once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, and doing like a family video together. I'm sure that exists. I have no doubt about it. I'm focusing more on the family vlog channels that are like daily or every couple of day posters that are literally all hours shoving cameras in their kid's face. It's not healthy, and these families are not doing a great job of raising their kids. I'm not like some kind of fucking child psychology expert or anything, but I think I can say with confidence, no one growing up wants to be constantly monitored by complete strangers. Sounds like a nightmare, and God forbid you actually have like a serious problem, because then the whole world's gonna know about it. A lot of these family channels, their most popular videos are when their family's going through something rough. Like one of the kids breaks their arm, or one of the kids gets in trouble at school or something, and the video is them being disciplined, or them at the hospital, or crying. Those get the most views, which is why you see so many thumbnails with the kids in pain, or crying, or something like traumatic going on. Like, you remember Daddy05? That was an extremely big controversy. That was a genuine abusive family that was actually hurting their kids for views on YouTube. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I'm sure most of you remember. That's not exactly uncommon on the platform, I imagine. These videos where the kids are in distress, like just really upset about something or even injured, are really popular on these channels. I honestly wouldn't be surprised, and this is just a full-blown, like, Alex Jones level conspiracy here, full-blown tinfoil tinfoil condom. But I really wouldn't be surprised to learn that a lot of these family channels actually set up these awful situations for their kids for the sake of views. Like, oh my god, my son, Nicholas, just got hit by a rogue baseball bat that flew out of a pickup truck that went by. It must have been a drive-by attempt where they threw a baseball bat at my son and it hit his ankles. Now they're clearly broken. Oh my god. Nicholas, are you okay? Oh, look at how hard he's crying. His ankles are truly shattered. Can we hit 100,000 likes on this video for my son's broken ankles? I'm gonna have to get him to a hospital. He's very upset. Oh my god. And the only thing that's gonna make him feel better is 100,000 likes on this video. And then you'll see like a week later, all of a sudden, oh my god, Nicholas fell off the top turnbuckle of our WWE wrestling ring and landed on a pit of broken glass that was just left there by some irresponsible builders. Oh my god, Nicholas, how are you feeling? Oh, can we hit 100,000 likes on this video? Nicholas is very upset and in pain. It's so sick. Really, just search any family vlog channel on YouTube and some of the most recent videos are probably going to be exactly what I'm talking about. Like here, this is the Prince family. 6 days ago, Grandpa gives kids a whooping. And then right before that, back to back, DJ almost drowns in the swimming pool. And then if you go to the most popular family vlog channel, the Ace family, literally their most recent upload, Steele got hurt bad on camera. Then in stars So Unexpected, which just sounds like sarcasm. It just sounds like the Ace family is laughing about this like, haha, yeah, Steele had no idea that one was coming. How unexpected, I get pranked. You know, like it sounds like they're actually celebrating that Steele got hurt here because it meant more views for them. And then if you go back a little bit more, the dog bit our baby, scary moment. Like a lot of these videos, and it really doesn't take long to find them because there's so many on all of these family vlog channels. It's like they really like start pumping their fists like, yeah, my kids got hurt. There's gonna be big views. You can find so much of this. So it's not even like wholesome families doing wholesome shit. It's these really sick families celebrating and capitalizing off of traumatic experiences of their children. Like just imagine, you can't even cry or get hurt without your parents filming you. That's an actual nightmare. And then it gets posted online for everyone to see. Your classmates might see it. Like, you just grow up in the eyes of complete strangers. That's terrifying. And there's no way kids can like fully grasp that concept till they're much older. And yeah, maybe some of them are okay with it as they get older because, you know, maybe then they actually start to see some of the money that they've made for their narcissistic parents. But even still, it's not a good environment to raise a family. At least I can't imagine that it is. It's so weird. And the audience is even creepier to me because the audience is two groups. It's little kids and old parents. Parents that their kids have already grown up and moved out of the house, so now they live vicariously through these YouTube families, and little kids who just see these other kids getting toys and attention that they might not be getting in their situation. So both of these groups, I think, are in very sad places for different reasons. Kids that come from broken households that get glued to this content because they're watching these kids live the life they wish they could. And then you have parents that are well past their prime whose kids most likely don't live with them anymore, don't talk to them anymore, whatever. They watch these family vlog channels and get attached to them and try and like raise their kids through the YouTube comments. Scrolling down into the comments section on a family vlog video is more sad than watching an ASPCA commercial. It is depressing. You'll see a lot of the commenters, at least on the channels that don't have comments disabled, you'll see a lot of the commenters are older women who their motherly instinct kicks in. So like on the Steele got hurt video, you'll see a lot of them be like, oh my god, my reflexes kicked in and I grabbed my hydrogen peroxide and poured it on my keyboard hoping to help Steele. Oh my god, oh my god, thank you for helping him. I got so concerned there for a moment. You'll see how attached they get. They, as a viewer, feel like they become part of that family because now that they're older, they don't have like a real kid to take care of or anything. So they're settling for the next best thing, which is living this fantasy where they're somehow helping the Ace family raise their kids or helping in their lives somehow. And then from that, you'll see a lot of these older women feel entitled to know everything that's going on with the family, which is why you have a lot of these family vlog channels make videos that get way, way, way too personal and share way too much about themselves as parents and their kids. Like I've seen a bunch of these family vlog channels where they're like the couples going through like a lot of issues and they share all of them with their audience because the audience demands it. And it's like they're never satisfied. They need to know every single detail. They just become so unhealthily attached to what they see on these family vlogs. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to talk about it. I hate family vlog channels, but I understand they're not going anywhere and they're probably only going to grow in popularity. I just wanted to at least talk about this since I had been thinking about it for the last couple days. That's about it. So yeah. It's only been a few weeks since we talked about that horrible hemorrhoid on Twitch that abused his son because he lost a Madden game. That story has a happy ending. Luckily, George R.R. Martin finished this tale. He got kicked out of the house by his wife and hasn't really said or done anything since. I guess he just faded into the football shadow realm. But then, yesterday, some other streamer saw this guy and must have said, I want to be like him, but worse. So we have an even worse father that came out of nowhere, a new anime villain here, and this pathetic urinal cake just exists to get pissed on. He fucking sucks at the games he plays, and he has some of the worst anger I've seen on Twitch. I went through a couple of his old shit, and it's nothing but him raging half the fucking streams. But last night, there was an eruption from this volcano of pathetic worthlessness. He storms out of his chair going off-screen, yelling and screaming at a child, saying that he's gonna break their neck, saying, I hate you. And the child is crying and screaming, and he goes on Twitter to say it wasn't directed at his daughter, it was directed at his dog. He was threatening to break his dog's neck, which makes everything okay. I'm going to show the clip now. It's very disturbing, just a heads up, and then we'll go over him trying to justify his absolutely disgusting behavior.
What the fuck, man? Oh my god, dude, I fucking pre-fired him! Dude. Okay!
Did you get head jaws by him too?
God, man. This fucking shit, dude. Change. Oh my god, stop fucking shitting in it! Stop shitting! I don't care, Riley. Shush. There! Stop fucking shitting yourself, dude. How hard is that? Christ, man. God damn, you stupid motherfucker. God, I fucking hate you, dude. Get the fuck out of my room, bro. Go! Get out! Go! The fuck out of my room, dude! Get out! I'm gonna break your fucking neck, dude. Get the fuck out!
He's yelling at a child, but he himself is the biggest child in that house, just having a full-on, whiny, pissed-pants baby meltdown. Oh no! Okay, dude. Oh. All because he just fucking sucks ass at his video game. And of course you could see some gamer tears crashing upon his Dorito-dusted desk as he gets up and then just starts to be abusive towards everyone around him. Now it's important to note that this clip is actually cut. It's not one continuous clip, but it's in two big sections. The first section where he goes, starts yelling and a child is crying as he says to stop shitting yourself, and then it's cut again when he gets up and he says to get the fuck out, I hate you, I'll break your neck. So there is two clips here. And in the first one, I think it's very clear that this is directed at his daughter. And he is a father, he has a daughter, this is his Twitter bio, aspiring gamer, single father of a beautiful 3-year-old, business owner. Look, I'm no fortune teller, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think this clip right here just single-handedly killed your business. I don't know what the business was, probably something fucking terrible though, like he probably sells gaming diapers because he's always shitting himself out of anger in his video games, so probably thinks there's a market for it, not realizing that he's just one of the only ones that gets that fucking mad at games. Now this asshole took a much different approach to the last abusive father on Twitch. That guy just left without saying anything, didn't bother to defend himself. This guy's doing everything he can to justify what happened here. So going on Twitter, we'll go over some of them. He says, anyone who believes that edited ass clip is severely misinformed. While I don't dismiss that I got overly upset, I was definitely 100% talking about my dog. The guy that I banned from my stream edited it to not seem so, but that's what it was. This guy even fucking writes like a child. And there's a lot of problems with this statement here. One, this guy gets about 2 viewers a stream, and I don't think he banned one of those 2 people, and I'm pretty sure both of those people are just him watching his own stream on different devices. The only reason this clip even surfaced is because the guy that killed him is a streamer, and his name is Frizzable, so he checked in on this guy's stream to see how he reacted to the kill, and he got blasted with this disgusting dose of garbage. That's the only reason this clip surfaced. It's not like there was some angry viewer that was just so upset that he got banned from his favorite streamer, Kill MF Cam. That was his favorite place to hang out. That's where the cool kids went to drink brewskis and watch some child abuse on stream, and when he got banned, he just couldn't take it. So he made a video to slander the poor guy. And then another problem with this statement is edited ass clip. There's only one edit. It's a continuous shot all the way up till when the child is crying, and then it cuts again to when he gets out of his chair to yell one more time saying, "I hate you and I'll break your neck." It's not like a clip that's edited a lot. There's not a lot of editing going on there. They didn't have to try very hard to make you look like an abusive asshole, because that's clearly what you seem to be. Now, in the second clip, it could be directed at someone that's not his daughter, since his daughter is no longer screaming and crying out of fear. So that's possible that it's directed at his dog. But does that make it any better, you cum dumpster scumbag? I don't think so. Animal abuse is still a horrible thing, also still a crime. The first clip, though, I think it's pretty undeniable that that was directed at your daughter. You wouldn't talk to a dog that way, and your daughter is extremely fucking scared, crying. So I don't know how you could possibly make the argument that the first part of this clip is not directed at your daughter. Because even if it wasn't, it clearly seems like she feels that it is. He continues, "You really said I threatened to break my dog's neck, not my 3-year-old son, and admitted to hitting your dog because you got angry, and think that sounds any better at all." And this dumb, stupid piece of shit says, "Yes, it is. I am allowed to whoop my dog's ass." First of all, you fucking troglodyte, you used the wrong allowed. I've never even seen this mistake before. The word you were looking for is allowed, A-L-L-O-W-E-D, not allowed, A-L-O-U-D. That means you're speaking aloud. You fucking dumb idiot. Like, holy shit, you are so stupid. I didn't even know anyone could make this kind of mistake. But also, no, you're not allowed to whoop your dog's ass. That's called animal abuse, and you should not be allowed near any animals ever in the future. And your daughter shouldn't be in that household where you're beating dogs in the first place. He continues, whoop my dog's ass for being bad, dude. She's a pit, LMFAO. I whooped her butt twice and made her leave my bedroom, LMFAO. While it wasn't okay to sound so mad, it really wasn't what this guy edited it to be. This guy sucks. This guy fucking sucks. Every single statement he makes himself look worse and worse and worse. This guy is an insufferable asshole who apparently beats his dog in front of his daughter. So this is not acceptable. Even if in some far-off fantasy world at no point in that clip was any of that directed at his daughter, he openly admits to beating his dog, and you can hear his daughter crying about it. His most recent tweet to really cement his place as a good guy, a victim of slander, is this right here. I'm gonna go ahead and say one more time. To all that are concerned, I'm sorry I reacted the way I did. I did overreact, but my overreaction was in no way directed at my kid. That video is edited slander of me yelling at my dog. Though that doesn't excuse my anger, please realize. I mean, so this guy truly was the victim of just some horrible slander campaign. A smear campaign against the good guy, Killa MF Cam. Man, it's so upsetting to see just a normal, good, red-blooded American, hard-working man trying to beat his dog on stream and then getting slandered for it. Like, come on now. I feel so bad for the guy. Unbelievable that this good man would be the victim of such a horrendous, heinous slander video. Ugh, despicable. So yeah, this guy sucks. Luckily he was banned, so that's good to see. But he's still trying his best to make himself not look like an absolute piece of shit on Twitter, and continues to dig himself further into a hole by making it seem like in his delusioned mind that he believes it's okay to beat animals if they are misbehaving, or just beat them if you're mad at a game. And of course in the clip you can hear his daughter crying about it, so she doesn't like it. So I would argue that you're traumatizing your daughter and teaching her that it's okay to beat things when you're upset. So regardless of how you're going to try and spin this story, and you're not doing a good job of it anyway because you're admitting to a crime anyway, which is beating your dog, that's called animal abuse, that is still a crime. No matter what he's tried he has made himself look like probably one of the worst streamers I've seen on Twitch. This guy is fucking horrible, and I just wanted to talk about it because this whole thing made me extremely mad. That's about it. So yeah.